The reason that I think it's important to show parents this is because it's easy for them to see once that the child is able to produce that sound in isolation. It's easy to think, oh, they got it. Now we can expect it in sentences. We can expect it in conversation. And it helps them to see that there's really that progression of moving from isolation to then blending it with other sounds, going to, syllables and words, and then putting those words within the context of phrases and sentences and so on. And so it just helps them to really understand that it's a little bit more involved process than they probably realize. And I think it just gives them a realistic expectation for their child so that they're not frustrated with the process, and they can see that there is a progression that we have to follow for their child to be successful. Since my expectation of the parent is not that they're going to be teaching or giving a whole lot of cueing or prompting to their child, but instead they're just there to first make sure that they are going through their daily practice, but also that they're there just to give occasional reminders as the child needs it. So it's very important that we don't put that expectation on the parent, that we can establish accuracy and consistency in whichever area we're working in. So for example, if I'm working on initial R, and we're just working on words, we would make sure that they're able to accurately and consistently arrive at the R in initial position of words before I would have that expectation of the parent to begin something with words at home. There's a great resource for parents that basically walks them through a systematic approach and hierarchy. Also, some great tips for parents on thespeechpathway.com, which we've talked a little bit about Marcus Little and just what he offers. And he really has some great free tutorials for parents that give them just some visuals and just really good material to think through the process of articulation and so on. He also offers a free 1-hour webinar, and he actually developed it specifically for parents, but he said that more SLPs probably take it than even parents do, just because it's just really good. It's a good just reminder of some simple things that we can do. And then he also offers some free materials as part of the webinar. So if you register for it, even though it's free, he will give you all of these different resources for free. And so just a really great tool and resource for parents and really SLPs. I always begin with syllables, and the two main things I use are usually a slide visual like this, and I have another one too that's similar, but this one I probably use most often. And usually it's laminated, so I'm able to write on it with a dry erase marker. And so I might put their target sound up at the top of the slide, and then they basically move their finger along and slide down, joining their target sound to each of the vowels. And I make them long, so I will say A, E, I, O, and for the U I do oo. So if it's R, I would do ray, re, ri, ro, ru. And I show that to the parents and give them that as their task to practice at home once I'm able to establish accuracy and consistency with me. And so some great visuals that I found for showing the articulators or speech helpers, as they call them. Luke and Holly Barber have a really nice visual handout for parents and speech language pathologists available at homespeechhome.com. And the reason I love these visuals is because it's not just clip art or drawings. It's an actual picture of a person, and it shows just very clearly each articulator, and just makes that very just clear to the child and of course the parent what it is that we're talking about, and what all is involved. Because sometimes I think it's easy to think, oh, just talking, to us, we understand it's a lot more than just this automatic process. There's a lot of, movement and manipulation of the tongue and this and that. And so it can get complicated. And when we're breaking down the components of a sound and how to arrive at that sound, it's just very important to understand that the parent understand what's involved. And I think too, it helps them realize, this is not as easy as we thought it was going to be. I think some parents might come in with an expectation that, we'll just be able to zap this sound error out of their child. And it just helps them, I think, to understand, okay, there's a lot more involved here.